Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Film Freaks, movies that we love here on Indie Film Cafe.
Hmm?
I'm your old pal Mukow, aka Paulie Presenza, and I'm joined by,
Jonathan A. Moody, your co-host.
yay, and we're sitting here on the couch in the studio, nice and comfy with my cow blankie, and we are going to watch a movie from 2010 called Submarine. Now, I don't know if you recall, but there was a little while ago when we had a discussion about teen movies. And I was talking to you about I was going to start bringing in some movies that, because I notoriously don't like Hollywood's idea of what teenagers are. But there are good teen-oriented films. It's just you got to dig for them, and this is one of them. So we're going to do a few. Yeah, he helped bring it to the United
It
States.
says Ben Stiller presents.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with it other than
I know, but like you hate Ben Stiller, so it's really
I don't
funny.
know if I hate him. I just don't think he's all that wonderful. But anyway,
He hates him.
so there's going to be a few movies we're going to do for Film Freaks that are going to be more teen-oriented, but they're going to be really good teen-oriented films versus
Nice.
shallow, ridiculous ones. So
Be
I
fun.
think you'll like this one. It's got some good folks in there. It's got a really good cast. And
I don't think I know anybody. I think Craig Roberts. I don't know if that's no. I don't think I know. I don't think I know anybody, but I'm excited.
yeah. It's pretty cool. I liked it a lot. And it kind of flew under the radar. So there you
Is it
go.
a British movie or something?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yep,
we'll
yep,
see.
yep.
We'll see what happens.
Submarine, baby.
But we'll be back in a bit.
Yep.
So get you on the
Flip side.
flip side.
Okay, so we are back.
We are back.
Submarine, what did you think?
I liked it. I mean, I don't think you show me a film that I haven't liked in some way or whatever, you know?
Even happiness?
Well, I mean, okay, maybe there was one. Or Gummo. Well, I mean, Gummo I respected for it, but... sorry, guys. Gummo I respected a little bit more. Happiness I did not respect at all.
You just didn't like the subject matter.
Oh, I hated it. But this movie was quirky and weird, but it was no happiness.
No. I dug it. So I'll read the back. It says, young Oliver Tate's coming of age is even sooner than expected. Prone to daydreaming and listening to French crooners and indulging in other self-absorbed fantasies, Oliver suddenly finds himself submerged in a real-life duel challenges, plotting to lose his virginity with a quirky new girlfriend while also struggling to reconcile his parents' marriage, even though his mom seems smitten with the self-help guru next door. This charmingly original comedy from executive producer Ben Stiller and writer-director Richard Ayoade has been pronounced by Vogue magazine as a charming mix of quirk and cool. Which it is.
Yeah.
It's also beautifully shot. It's got some really, really good cinematography.
It was filmed in Wales.
Yeah, it makes Wales look really, really nice. I mean, I've been to Wales. I don't remember it looking quite like that, but...
I'm sure, I mean, that's a neighborhood, area, that
Yeah.
people like live in.
It's probably near Cardiff, near the sea.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's funny. It's one of those movies that it shows what it really feels to be an awkward person at that time. And this is in the 80s before everybody has phones and you're all obsessed with phones all the time. Nobody had that. So people actually still did things together. And
Yeah,
even though
well, in their dreams.
even if they were dumb things, spitting and setting things on fire, but they had meaning at the time, So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and I like the fact that they all have their own little strange, weird personalities and traits, and and things that make them different and make them unique and make them interesting.
Absolutely. I liked. I mean, in the beginning of the film, like the first start off, it has like a letter from Oliver to us, the audience, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. It's very confusing. It was cute at first. I was like, oh my goodness, what's this? Because it said your whatever, Oliver Tate and everything like that.
He likes to write letters.
Apparently so, and so like that starts it off, and then we get to sort of meet him, and he's talking about like what it would be like if he committed suicide, which was a very dark idea, but like his idea.
I mean, what teenager doesn't think of that at some point?
Kind of reminds me. I like one of my favorite bands is this band called Reliant K, and they have it has a whole song called "Faking My Own Suicide." You know, about how he would fake his own suicide, and then when the girl comes up to his, to whatever, he come back to life, and then she'd be happy, and I'm like, no, that's the exact opposite of what would happen.
Right, and in his fantasy, everybody's mourning, and all of Wales is mourning, and nobody cares.
And then all of a sudden, he resurrects himself and tells people he has all these powers, and
don't ask how.
Yeah, don't ask how. And then all of a sudden, you realize that's his dream world that he lives in, and that the girls, everybody there, basically, a lot of them don't even know who he is, really. Like, he's...
Right. They think he's gay.
They think he's Gaylord. That's what they keep calling him. And, because he keeps to himself and he never had a girlfriend. So,
Right.
But I don't know. It's a weird beginning, but it was good.
So then he meets Jordana, who has just broken up with, I guess, one of the more popular guys, and now she's kind of unpopular. And, she decides, what the hell, she obviously sees him moping and checking her out all the time.
Well, yeah, he is quite a creeper through the whole movie.
Yeah.
He's always spying on people and doing that.
He likes control. He likes to know all the time what's going on.
The one thing I was going to tell you this earlier, like, after we were done, and then I decided to save it for this. One thing I don't like about her is that he kind of pointed her out to, like, kind of be a bully, but also, like, enjoy watching people be bullied. And that was a little bit of a strike against her, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is, but some people are like that, and I like that. It's real.
Well, it's real, but I'm just saying that kind of makes me not like. And then, so they
not everybody has great traits. Everybody has stuff that's not so great.
There's a girl who's a big girl, Zoe, who overweight. Girl who
so she gets bullied.
Yeah, she gets bullied and picked on, and Oliver decides to bully her because
not because he wants to, because he thinks that she thinks it's fun. So he's trying to please her.
Right, but he feels bad because he pushes her into a puddle, and it's a big puddle. Like she falls the whole way in, and I'm like, I thought she was like gonna die from that, like
and all her shit goes in there, and it was a shame.
Gross, and so he tries to like apologize to her in a way,
and it's a further betrayal because you find out later on he actually did already have his first kiss. It was with her.
I know, well, because I guess she would be the only one to let him,
right,
and stuff, and kind of reminds me of how I was in middle school, where I didn't like, I had the crush on all the girls I couldn't get, right? Those are the girls I wanted.
Of course.
And then the ones that I kind of made fun of or whatever, now years later I look at them and I'm like, God, they're beautiful, and what was wrong with me? Like, why didn't I go for them? Well, it's because all the kids poked fun at those people, and I didn't wanna like be poked fun of.
Plus, we're fucking dumbasses when we're kids.
I know.
That's the thing. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
And so this movie shows that. This movie shows a lot of that stuff. So I don't know. It was one of those things. So it did bring back a lot of my childhood ideas and thoughts. And as it probably should for everybody, because when you start looking back at your childhood, you realize everybody sort of is the same. Like
Mm-hmm. And you have these things where you get really, really over dramatic about stuff that really isn't that big of a deal when you look back on it, but when you're going through it at the time and you're 14, 15, 16 years old, it's a big deal.
Even though I will say, I did like there was a part, and this kind of skips to the end, but it doesn't matter because it kind of fits with what you're saying. I don't want to forget it. When he actually says to his dad, because he has said, when I'm 38 years old, this is, or his dad said, like, when you're 38 years old, none of the stuff you did as a kid is gonna matter. And then he says, when I'm 38 years old, breaking up, having broken up with this girl is gonna matter to me and stuff. So.
And it does.
And it does. And so he, that's the thing. So, to go back into so, to go back to what was going on. So that girl Jordana sees him, and he sneaks out, and he writes because he finds out the girl Zoe doesn't show back up to school.
Right.
And so he
feels guilty.
He feels guilty, so he writes her a pamphlet on how to survive being bullied, I guess. Which I was like, you bullied her, and then you wrote a pamphlet.
It was the only way he could think of doing something.
Yeah, and so he says, "This is a letter to somebody." So the lady was like, "That's a long letter." He's like,
big letter.
Yeah, big letter. He's like, "I like to write."
I got a big heart.
Yeah, big heart. Got a big heart. So he gives the letter to the lady because she went to a new school and stuff, and
because she was being bullied.
Because she was being bullied at the one that she was at, and the lady says that, and he was like, "Oh wow, I had no idea." I thought that was so funny.
That was
like,
typical.
Like I was like, "Oh, you're an asshole. You're a dick."
Well, of course, he's not going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm the reason."
I thought he would. He is that type to be honest, like 100% honest. But he also does hide a lot of things and whatnot. So he goes up and he finds that out. But we find out that Jordana's been watching him and knows that he did that, and she gets the letter, or she says she gets the letter. We never find that pamphlet.
But she seems to know about it, though.
That's true.
So, yeah.
So she probably got the letter, the pamphlet. And so she blackmails him into kissing her and taking pictures of it to piss off the guy that... And
it does piss him off.
It pisses him off. And I'm like, why? She's got a new girlfriend. I don't understand that, but I guess it's generally a male macho thing.
Yeah,
and I'm not like that. So like I would be kind of like, all right, go dude, like I've moved on. I've started dating somebody. Well, he did cheat on her with the other girl. So like he has no, like, he's just an asshole, So he starts beating up the starts beating up
beats up Oliver, and he makes him say, "I'm a gay lord," and he makes him take back what he said about him. But the one line he won't cross is that he says, "You have to say Jordana's a slut," and he won't do it. And even when he threatens to hit him, he says, "I won't, fuck you," and of course he gets beat up. That's the part where she kind of says, "Oh, okay, I guess maybe you're okay after all."
Yeah, because it was her plan, it was her thing, it was her idea. And yet, she even says, because he says, the guy says, "Tell everybody you're gay." And she even says, "You don't have to do that, Oliver." Right? But, she's not the one getting beat the crap up.
Right.
So he does say, "I'm gay," because he doesn't care, because he knows he's not gay. So that doesn't bother him saying it. But what does bother him is knowing that she's not a slut.
Right.
And he, doesn't want to say that. So.
He doesn't care about what people think about him, but he does care about what people think about her.
And what she thinks about him.
Right, and you can see, because when he's saying you have to say she's a slut, and he looks over at her, and you can tell she's not happy about that, and she's hurt by that. So he takes the beating. So I think that's what does it. That's why she's like, oh, okay.
He has
You
principles
have
and
some. You have some parts to you that I can connect with.
yeah. So he goes and says, "All right." So they start kind of. He decides to walk her home, and they decide, I guess, sort of to be boyfriend and girlfriend after that. And
And then it's funny. He like imagines this 2 weeks of
but it does not
perfection.
look like imagining. I thought it was real, and then it turned out to all be fake.
Yeah,
But
that
it's
was
like
part of his imagination.
his imagination was they had 2 weeks of lovemaking, which we never see any of the lovemaking. We just see all them like
They're
hanging
like
out
running
and
around with firecrackers and having a great time and doing all this wonderful, wonderful stuff. This
playing
is all
with
playing in
fire.
his head.
Yeah, the things that he wishes he was doing with her. But for 2 weeks, for the actual 2 weeks, they haven't even talked to each other. So it's so awkward. You know, she's like staring at him. Like, which would be like, come over and come talk to me, you
Right.
freaking idiot. But he's like, he's just hanging out with his friends and is like, is she looking at me?
But I remember a time when, it would be it would be much better for me to sit there and imagine about all the wonderful, perfect things that would go on rather than the reality of we're just going to go there and be like, oh, how's it going? Oh, how's it going?
I remember when I liked
Yeah.
a girl in middle school. I really had a crush on this girl. And she started dating like a good friend of mine. And I wasn't mad at him because I was like, like understandable if whatever. So one day he comes over to my house and asks me to take me to her house, right? Like we're gonna walk over to her house, and that was a actual pretty good walk, right, to her house. And I did. I went with them and allowed him to go hang out with her and shit like that. When the whole time I'm like thinking, I wish it was me. You
Oh,
know?
he was trying to get you to be the wingman or something?
Yeah, like hang
Okay.
out and do something. I was that kind of guy that even if I liked a girl, I let my friends got the chance to be with them. Nowadays it hurts more, I guess, but
Mm.
like back then, I just I was too shy anyway. I didn't like talking to girls.
Meanwhile, at the same time, his parents are starting to drift apart and he's trying to do stuff to fix it. And of course, he really can't.
Nope.
But he thinks he can, so he tries.
Well, and I was saying to Paul, he should have just mind his own business. Like it's not his business and stuff. I think his parents even kind of tell him that in different times of just like stop bothering us. Like we're doing this stuff that we're doing the way we're doing it.
And he
We're
keeps
not.
saying, I just want things to be the way they are. I don't want things to change. And because he wants to control stuff, and he can't.
Yeah. So his mom and dad are just having kind of they're in a slump. They're not having sex apparently, which he monitors. I'm like, ugh. I don't want it. Like, ugh.
Just to make sure everything's okay,
No,
I guess.
I never wanted to do that as a kid.
But it's very typical the way sort of Brits are sort of shown. They're not shown like Americans, where they're Americans are very passionate and they yell and scream and have sex and blah 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 blah. They're very reserved, and it's kind of embarrassing to show emotion over there. So that's kind of it is that they're very clipped. They don't really talk about that kind of stuff.
And they have a new neighbor, new neighbors.
Oh yeah, and then there's Graham, the ninjas.
And the ninjas, which they're like, that's racist. Don't say that.
He's white.
He's white. She's white. She is Asian though, so
Yeah.
that does come off like weirdly, whatever. So the next door neighbors who are just a little wacky. The Graham is a psychic. What else did he do? He was a psychic.
He was like a self-help guy. Basically, you don't have any skills, so you convince people that you do, and you charge them money for it. It's the same garbage that happens today.
Yeah, today it's more like, what's his name? Tony Robbins or some people like
Yeah.
that who are like self-help gurus who go around and try to help you
I have
better
no
yourself.
marketable skills, but I'm going to convince you that I do. Here's a book.
Here's a book, and here's a bunch of things that maybe might help you, along the way. And look, whatever. I don't.
I've convinced you to buy the book, so therefore I'm successful.
Well, if you, hey, if people
Because
buy
they
it.
know people are looking for people to give you the answer.
The suckers.
There's always people out there that, it's life is hard. How do you make it easy for me? You know.
No.
So that's what he does. And so he's like, he sees colors on people. Bunch of nonsense.
and and so he ends up. They go out to like a double date for the movie night or whatever to go see Crocodile Dundee. Meanwhile, Oliver's got his sex date with his girl, with Jordana, but Jordana, like everything, the whole thing, she thinks he's crazy. He just thinks,
He is. He's acting like an idiot.
yeah, he's all dressed up in a suit to begin with, and then he puts, our favorite line in the thing though was when he was like, "You have to get out immediately." Tells his parents that.
Yep. It's time to go. You're supposed to go to the movies. You should leave immediately.
You should leave immediately. So they do leave, and then Jordana comes over. They have wine, out of a box, boxed wine, and he talks about his bathroom like thing. That's like,
And he's
that's
got
so
his
awkward.
like this all set up in his room, and he like gets on the bed, and he's like all posing, and she's like, "You are a fucking serial killer," and just
Yeah.
leaves.
Yeah, she's like, "I knew you were a serial killer." Like walks out, and he comes to stop her, gives her a letter that he wrote to her, because that's what he does. He writes letters, and I guess it changes her mind or whatever. So she comes back in, and they hook up, and then she's leaving, and she goes, "Don't get cocky."
Which I thought was funny.
Yeah, and I think he was just the happiest guy ever in that particular, because he lost his virginity to like she was the popular girl at that time.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, she was popular. So and so he ends up like I guess they end up actually getting more connected, I guess.
Right, and this is the part where he starts noticing about his parents, and then he starts obsessing over that, and that's when the movie presents the two choices where he's got to deal with like how do I manage to do both, and then he finds out that her mother is sick, excuse me, and that's going to make her emotionally unavailable. So he has to figure out some way to fix that because again he loves controlling stuff even though he can't.
Nope.
And it ends up he has to make a choice. Does he try to fix his parents, or does he try and fix Jordana? And he ends up picking the parents, and it was the wrong choice. I mean, either one's going to be the wrong choice, honestly.
Well, I mean, if he was just there for Jordana through the mom stuff, because even though the mom actually did like live through it, everything was fine after. I think they didn't say the cancer was gone or anything, but it seemed
She
like
just said, "My mom's fine."
my mom's fine and everything. But he chose instead to like focus on the relationship with the parents,
And he just didn't say anything to her. That was the bad part. It's not like, you could have said something.
he tried. He was bringing it up at the at the beach or whatever at one point, and then she brought up her mom dying, and he was like, "Yep, I can't, like, no matter what I say now, it won't matter because you're, like, even if I say my parents are splitting up, that doesn't matter to the point of like, at least you still have your parents,
Right,
or whatever.
right.
So losing a mom is worse than." And she invites him to dinner. Oh God,
That was funny.
that was the most awkward dinner ever. Like, honestly, she's there. The dad is like, "Oh, if you got an angel like this, keep
Hold on to her no matter
hold
what,
on
and
to
then
her
they
no
all
matter
start
what."
crying and hugging.
And they all start.
And
No.
he's
The
just like,
lights turn out, and like lights have issues, and he starts. You can tell there's like so much other stuff going on, and
And he is not part of it.
and he's like everybody else is like hugging, and he's just sitting at the dinner table eating his chicken, like wanting to get out of there as quickly as possible.
I should leave immediately.
So
was funny.
awkward. Oh,
And the thing is, what I really like about it too is that Graham isn't that really that bad of a guy.
Who?
He's really not the neighbor, the
Oh
wacky
yeah.
neighbor. He's a bit of a wacky guy, but he's not being an asshole about it. And even when Oliver does some stupid shit, it's not like he calls the cops on him or anything like that.
He just drops him off at
He
home.
just drops it off at home, and he understands the guy. He's just being a dumbass teenager.
He did get a hand job from the mom.
He did.
And
that was funny.
It was funny because, like, it was...
Your mother just gave him a hand job.
Yeah.
We've discussed this.
We've discussed this. Everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
Like, what?
Aren't you? You should be more upset. I am upset.
I am upset. It's okay. It'll be fine. Like, the father's just like that the whole time, and it drives me crazy because I'm like,
but
I don't think I can live with that.
There's hope for them at the end, too, because remember, he actually finds them both snuggling up in bed together.
Right. I mean, there's hope between them, but, like...
So that's what I liked about the film. He has these two problems, but they end up sorting themselves out in the end, despite the fact that he tried and screwed stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so in spite of his best bad intentions, or his best intentions which went wrong, he manages to somehow, everything works out okay. Especially with Jordana. Jordana, she's...
At the end, because he had this dream, I don't know if it's like a recurring dream
fun.
Or something,
yeah.
where he would go to the beach and he would see this girl who's dressed like Jordana, and he'd turn her around, and she wasn't Jordana, though the picture that we saw, that looked like Jordana. I don't know if that was somebody else.
It was someone similar.
Okay. She looked very much like her.
But not the same.
And he was like, it doesn't have the same face. So he sees the girl, and he thinks it's going to be in real life, and he thinks it's going to be the dream. And it turns out it really is. But, even before
and he's shocked!
Even before then, though, she was dating a guy that looked like a giraffe, apparently.
That was funny. I can't think of a giraffe without being angry.
Yeah, right now. The guy with the long neck. And then he, so she was dating this guy. He didn't seem to even know who the guy was, I guess. Didn't matter. Just some guy in school. And...
I'm sure she was dating, because she even says, she's not my boyfriend. She's just starting to hang out with somebody else. Because that's the kind of age where you just start hanging out, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything until it means something.
Until you become your boyfriend, girlfriend, and
right.
shit, and everything. And that's what they were. They were boyfriend, girlfriend, and he didn't act like it. And that's what she kind of tells him, is like, you didn't really do anything for me. You weren't there for me. You weren't. You were a terrible boyfriend, and he was even admits it. I was a terrible boyfriend.
He's trying. He's like, here, I'm going to give you these books that I like.
Oh, God.
She's like, why do I want to be like you?
Why do I want to be like you?
He's like, well, I'm just trying to get us some common interest other than spitting and setting things on fire.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
And then he spits on that guy's car, and then the next second, later, they're setting something on fire. So it's like spitting in fire.
Teenagers.
Seems to be a thing. I don't know. And then when she says, that wasn't my boyfriend anymore, or that's not my boyfriend, because that's what he thinks, I guess, when he sees somebody her with somebody. That's gonna be the case. But she, they have a good talk, finally, and he admits that he was focusing too much on his parents and not enough on her and stuff, and he's really sorry about that. And he even said, like, not to her, but he said that, like, if the mom had lived and everything, she'd be too happy to be mad at him. Mm. But if the mom died during surgery or whatever,
she needed time to grieve.
She needed time to grieve, and I was like, but that's still a dick thing to do. Like, even if she needs time to grieve, you still go see her, and if she says, I need time to grieve, you respect her wishes, but, like, you don't just let her, Well,
at one point he was going to poison her dog so that she wouldn't feel so bad about losing the mother.
Oh, God, I told you that I was going to hate his character if he did that. He had the rat poison, but it didn't matter. The dog got hit by a train. And then she got another dog. And she kept bringing him into the ocean, and I kept thinking, stop, leave that dog alone. You guys do not know how to deal with dogs. I don't know. It was Yeah,
Yeah, so they're definitely flawed characters, and I like that. I don't
yeah.
like these perfect characters that are just like archetypes, you know.
Well, I love that his dad gave him a tape that had like all the songs he liked to listen to when he was in a relationship, plus breakup songs.
Because that's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, he
Oh,
even
thanks,
says
Dad.
that. Yeah, and then he says, so then he actually does listen to the regular songs, and then later listens to the breakup song, or
There's some
whatever.
good music in it too. I really liked it.
Yeah,
So
but you said they weren't '80s music, but it
no,
sounded like it.
they definitely felt like it. But yeah, there was great cinematography, great music. You know, there's some really good
Great editing.
performances. Patty Considine was really good as the wacky neighbor. Sally Hawkins from the water was
As
Shape of Water
Shape of Water.
is in there.
Oh
She was really
wait,
good.
who was she?
She was the mom.
Okay. I didn't recognize her, so he was asking me earlier. He's like, you don't know who Sally Hawkins is, and he said Shape of Water. I was like, I haven't watched that one yet. And then I'm sure that she's been in other stuff. I didn't recognize her.
Yeah, they've all been in stuff, and I think the everybody else has gone on to do more BBC type productions and things. It was really well done. It was really well acted too.
This is like if Kubrick did a teen comedy, and that's why I think you liked it because there's a
Yeah,
lot of. I noticed there's a lot of like Clockwork Orange in it.
a lot of details.
But a lot of like little like the house felt like the house in Clockwork Orange and stuff like that. So there's certain things like that I'm like, oh, very cool. And the editing with the all the time it would like turn to blue or something, and then
Or red.
or red, but like it would be like a big blue thing, and then it would come back to like the next scene or whatever, and I was like, that it just feels like a Kubrick kind of thing and stuff. So maybe I don't know if the director is a big fan of Kubrick, but
Would not surprise me.
he did a good job with that.
And he wrote it too. So I think that's a really important thing because I think he really understood the story and the characters.
I
And
wonder if it's
when you're a
it's
director, you can do that much better.
he said like this was a biopic of himself or whatever, which is funny. But the Oliver Tate character, said they were making a biopic, and they're like if it was a whatever if it was something else it would be different, but now since it's only a biopic we have to pan out and it shows them
Oh
panning
yeah,
down.
I can't afford a real interesting shot, so I just got to go with a pan out.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I thought that was cute. There's like really good moments where you really do like Oliver. You like there's no characters I really didn't like, even the teacher, because I felt bad for the teacher. He kept doing notes in class and stuff, and the first note that was there, it was like something stupid, and then he was about to read it, but got saved by the bell, and everything. And and that was in the beginning of the movie. Then at the end of the movie, he's about to read the note, or he gets another note that the other friend stole from him, and the teacher's
He's
like,
like
"Read this."
reasons I should not commit suicide.
Yeah, and one of them was because he loved her too much, and Jordana too much, and so apparently he read it. We didn't hear him read it, and then the teacher's just like,
Oops, sorry.
"Yeah, if
You can always talk to me if you
you
need
can,
to.
yeah, if you, oh, it's a joke. Okay, great, it's a joke. Right? Like I don't have to really worry about this right now. Like but if it ever becomes something really serious, because he was sort of a depressing guy. He spent a lot of time alone. He would end up. He liked being alone. He liked reading the
I
dictionary.
mean, there's nothing like that first love, and then there's nothing like that first loss. That's like so crushing, and everybody goes through it, and it's just a horrible experience, and we all sort of react the same way. We're all like going to mourning for God knows
I didn't
how
really
long.
have that. That's weird. Like in school, I didn't date anybody at all. It was kind of sad, but it's just the way it was. I just didn't. It's too. I don't know, too shy, so I didn't do that. And I don't know if I regret it or not, but it would have probably been nice to have explored and do that stuff. But I was inside watching TV and movies instead of, and I'm still inside watching TVs and movies instead of asking girls out.
Well, you got to
Just
see this movie, so this is a little different, right?
yeah. And it's got you said it got some special features like a making of Submarine.
But this is not American Pie. This is not,
10 Things I Hate About
Porky's. Yeah, this is not that kind of a American teenager kind of film. Those are the kind of films I don't really care for.
I'm guessing Yasmin Page.
Yeah,
is
that's Jordana.
Jordana. Okay, so it says, yeah, so Oliver is Craig Roberts, but suddenly finds himself submerged in real life. Whatever, new girlfriend, played by Yasmin Page. His parents, Sally Hawkins and Noah Taylor.
And there's the idea of the title being submerged, and you talk about how we're all just submarines. We're all underwater, and nobody can really read anything about anybody else.
Well, a lot of it had to do with that stuff because his dad was a marine biologist or something, and studied that stuff. And he said something where he asked his dad, like, how did he get, and he was like, I sort of drifted into it, no pun intended, And I thought that was, the father was nice. The father was just very, I don't know, kept to himself.
Closed off.
Yeah, kept to himself and everything, and that
you get the feeling they're both not where they thought they were going to be. The mother wistfully goes back and looks at the old pictures that she had of herself. She looks at her old hair. She says, "I used to have this nice long hair," And then she asks a trap question: Do you like it when it was longer? Do you like it when it was shorter? Because of course the answer is going to be wrong no matter what you say.
well, and he says, basically whatever you want.
Right, and that infuriates her even more.
I know. It's just like what is he? What's gonna?
There's no right answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's such a weird sort of story between them all, and I don't know. All of them are great. All the actors, even the friends of everybody, like his friend who was an asshole. Yeah, his friend who was an asshole. I still liked him. I thought he was Chips. Yeah, and then
I love how he comes to these big moments, but he always seems to fail them.
Well, in his head, he's not failing anything.
Right.
In his head, he's got a whole master plan, but in reality, he doesn't know.
Works.
He doesn't know how to do anything. Everything doesn't work out the way he wanted it to, and that is like life. Life doesn't work out the way you want it to all the time. You can plan, but most of the time, it's just not going to work out and everything. So I don't know. I really liked it. I wonder what. I guess Ben Stiller found it in the UK and brought it to America. It internationally.
I'm sure he got helped pay for the rights or whatever.
Yeah.
But he definitely saw quality in the film. So, and it had a coming attraction of another film that we both thought looked really, really good. So
yeah,
you have to check it out.
So this is actually produced by the Weinstein Company.
Yeah. We won't hold that against them.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
2010, so it was probably right around the time shit started to get bad.
Yeah, a little bit like before. So it does say 2011 right here. Because you say dates. But that's, even though it's 2010 is when it probably put out. 2011 is probably when it got put out on
or when it came
Anchor Bay.
Yeah, or when it came to America or something like that.
This is Anchor Bay and the Weinstein Company who put it out. I mean, the Weinsteins were very good at one thing, which is discovering really good, talented people. Harvey is just an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because they were good. It's just they were just assholes behind the scene.
Yeah. So the director was Richard Ayoade.
Ayoade, yeah.
Ayoade. Yep, he wrote and directed it. Let's see. There's a lot of executive producers, but I don't know. Other than Ben Stiller, I don't know any of them. Editors is Nick Fenton and Chris Dickens.
They did a really good job.
Yeah. See the camera. Songs by Alex Turner. Um, where's the director of photography? Is Eric Alexander Wilson. So, thank you, Eric Alexander Wilson, for the beautiful cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I was telling Paul, I'm starting to follow this guy from Wales, so I started knowing a little bit, seeing stuff from Wales, and yeah, it's so fucking beautiful. Would love to visit there someday, but not for a while. I gotta conquer Williamsburg and surrounding areas first. Before I really dip my toe in the.
And it definitely felt, to me, it very much felt like the 80s. Like the movie the parents go out to see was Crocodile Dundee, so that was like 1983, 1984, something like that.
Something like that.
Um,
and then the father did not like Crocodile Dundee.
Right.
But it didn't look like his thing anyway.
No, that wasn't his kind of movie.
Yeah, so but of course it was the other guy, Graham's kind of movie, the kind of movie he'd enjoy and stuff. Graham likes being a ninja, doing like that's funny. Karate stuff. He got a blowjob from his girlfriend.
Yeah,
while doing, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
It seemed to fit his character, though.
Seemed to fit the movie. The movie was wacky. It was such a quirky little comedy, coming of age.
Yeah, and I like that. I like when a writer and director allows characters to sort of be weird and be, unique. So it's not just the same people over and over and over and over again. Standard teenagers. Nobody's standard in this. Definitely nobody.
Yeah, Wonderfully Funny by Joe Morgenstern from the Wall Street Journal. A charming mix of quirk and cool by Charlotte Sinclair of Vogue. Of course, they would know what's quirk and cool. Refreshing, Urgent, and Original by David Gritton, The Daily Telegraph. Blends mirth and malice with deadpan brilliance. That's Peter Travers. I want a good quote from Peter Travers from Rolling Stone. He's always he's the big movie guy there.
It's a shame this didn't become more of a bigger film.
The making of Submarine and deleted scenes that you can get from this. So yeah, it's definitely a movie I'd want eventually in my collection. I never would have probably bought it had I not seen it first.
But you can see why, as far as a teenage coming of age movie, this is more the kind of speed that I prefer than, like I said, American Pie or some of the other ones that are out there.
But you don't like Allison Hannigan as the,
sure, if it's
American
just her.
Pie as the what is it, the band camp girl.
Mm.
No, I don't know. I enjoy all the teen comedies. I grew up on teen comedies. I grew up on 10 Things I Hate About You, Clueless, She's All That, all that stuff.
And remember, we talked about how this seems similar to 500 Days of Summer, too.
500 Days of Summer is like a teen version of that. Where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is very quirky and shy and kind of weird in a way. And he doesn't know how to handle things. But he also had that... They also had that reality versus expectations bit, where it was like side by side, and you saw sort of the what he was thinking would happen and what actually happens, and it kind of reminds me of this, where they didn't do it like a side by side, but it was more like they would show you, oh, this is what 2 weeks of lovemaking is like in his head, but then it's not.
It wasn't 8 days a week either.
Nope, much better than that movie. So yeah, there's some really great moments in this movie. I just thought it was very funny.
Some uncomfortable ones too. I remember you were like, "Oh, I can't watch."
Which one was that? Which part was that? I remember that. But
I forget. I remember when he was going up, he was gonna screw up the guy's room.
Yeah, he was gonna pee on the thing and stuff, and he couldn't get it.
And then he gets himself drunk, and he takes a bunch of pills.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Fail.
Oh, well, it's definitely wouldn't have been able to watch if he actually rat poisoned the fucking dog.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
No, that would have probably killed the movie for me.
I'd have given you a trigger warning if that had actually happened.
Well, you were laughing at me when I was watching it because you were like, you knew what was going to happen.
Oh,
but
I knew.
I didn't, and I didn't like it. I was not happy. I was like, ah. It's like Joe Turk getting mad at the dog putting himself in the oven, you know. Uh, Not cool, not cool. He would have probably felt the same as me, you know, watching this going, oh no, don't do it. Don't you dare poison that dog. Oh, it got hit by a train.
Now, the movie I had thought about doing, actually, it's funny because it also stars Paddy Considine, who's written and directed by him, actually. Um, and it actually breaks the golden rule of Hollywood, which is you don't harm the kid, you don't harm the dog. The first thing that happens, and then you have the character, you have to sort of recover from that, and that's what the movie's about.
Oh. Was that dog movie? There's one that Mike White did that was similar to that.
I don't think you know it. It's a British film.
No, there's an American movie that Mike White did where the beginning of the movie is about the Molly Shannon losing her dog, like her dog dying, and the grief that she's having, and then the whole rest of the movie, like it starts with that, you know, and the rest of the movie is her coping with the dog and stuff, and it's a wonderful movie if you haven't seen it. Mike White is incredible as a writer director.
Yeah, no. This movie starts off with the guy killing his dog.
No, I can't watch that.
He didn't mean to, but he does.
Still.
And you're like, how the hell do you recover from that? Well, that's the whole thing. So I almost did that one, but we didn't. So I went with this instead.
Well,
because like I said, I wanted to do the different kinds of teenage films.
Yeah, because we talked about that where I've told you about teenage films I like or whatever, and you're just like, I've got one that will.
And I always keep saying, "Oh, I have no interest in as teenagers." Well, that's not entirely true. I do, if depending on how it's done and who's involved and yeah.
So. Was Harold and Maude teenagers or just?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they,
that was
sadly
well
Harold just passed.
I know.
So sad. He was young too. He wasn't that old.
But it's not the same subject matter, obviously, but it's quirky in that kind of respect, I would think.
Yeah, but that would be something you would like.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where you like movies where it's like more real to what they're dealing with instead of like 10 Things I Hate About You is Taming the Shrew, but in high school, or whatever.
High School Musical, please.
Or Clueless is what was that? Clueless is Emma, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But instead it's in high school, or whatever.
Or you just you do some fun subversive supernatural stuff like Buffy. Even though they're all teenagers, love Buffy.
They're not teenagers. Great. Those people are in their 30s.
Well, yeah.
Playing teenagers. At least Angel was 30, because he died at the age of 30 or whatever. He got turned into a vampire at age of 30, so that makes sense. Everybody else is like his age in real life. Oh, it's so funny to me. It's funny when 30-year-olds play teenagers, because why not? But these people were young.
These were teenagers.
I don't think they were. They might be teenagers, but I don't think they were 15.
No.
Like they were older. I just think. I did like him. I liked all the characters. I liked everything. It was wonderful. I'd highly recommend people check it out if they get the chance.
There you go.
I guess I thought this would last a little longer, but I guess we pretty much told the whole movie in like less time than I thought.
Definitely check it out. You can get it on eBay, and I didn't, or you can get it on Amazon. I didn't check to see if this is on Tubi. I don't think it is, but you never know. You can check it out. Right.
Well, I'll check it out later and see.
I definitely want to see if Richard Ayoade has done anything else, because this was 2010, 2011, so that's a good while ago.
Yep. over 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. So hopefully he's done some more stuff, but maybe this is all he wanted to do. You never know. Maybe like he had a story to tell and he got to tell it. And,
Mm-hmm.
it was whatever. But most likely, if he's done something this well and it got attention of like somebody like Ben Stiller, he's most likely doing something else.
Most likely, or at least maybe doing stuff for BBC.
Yeah, maybe TV shows or whatever. Coronation Street. That's the only like I don't know soap opera from or Emmerdale. I guess there's a couple. My mom used to watch. My mom lived in England with my dad for a while, so they would watch British television, British movies, whatever. And my mom fell in love with Coronation Street. I don't know if you heard of that, but it's a
Heard of it, never watched it.
yeah, you would hate it. It's a soap opera. It's a British soap. It's the longest soap opera. Longest running soap opera, but I think or something like that. Or at least the one in the UK.
Hmm.
But then she also watched like all these other ones, and they would get before she passed. My dad and mom had was one of those channels that you could watch all the BBC shows and stuff. Some great BBC stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some good stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to watch some more. But this movie, I definitely highly recommend. It's not. If you're not into quirky and weird kind of stuff or whatever, you may not like it. Just giving you a heads up. It's a little quirky and a little weird, but it's fun and it leaves you hopeful.
Yeah, I like that. It ends on an up note.
Yeah, but it's more of a comedy anyway. There's a lot of funny scenes in it. So that's why they probably did that. Because most of the time, if you're a tragedy, you ended on, if you're a drama, you ended up on tragedy.
Thought about it though. I know you were like, "Don't kill yourself, dude."
Don't kill yourself. Because he looked like he was going to, but he found her instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she saved his life a little bit. I don't know if he wouldn't have, but you look that close to like, this is it. And I do want to say one of the best parts in the movie is where he goes up to her while she's with the other guy and he's like, "I'd like to speak to you in private." And she's like, "No, you can talk here." And he was like, "I'm sorry, I was going through." He tells her everything that happened, right?
Mm.
And then he looks over and goes, "All right, this is the part where you come join me and leave this guy." And she's like, "Why would I do that?"
Are you coming? No.
No. And I knew that. I knew she was going to say no to that because
No.
that does not work. It works in movies, generally, right? Come with me, or whatever. But
No.
in reality, no. No. It doesn't work. So, nice try, kid. But she had a great personality because she was herself. Like, she was absolutely 100% herself, and he was a dick. And even she says, "You were a dick. Why are you a dick?" And he goes, "I don't know. I don't know."
Because he's still trying to figure himself out. That's why.
Yeah, he was trying to figure himself. He said, "I took flipping a coin tossing. I took up all these
I
different
listened to French crooners. I smoked a cigar.
Smoking a pipe.
I even went through a hat phase. He's sitting here with this ridiculous hat on.
Yeah, but
nothing stuck.
Nothing. Yeah, he couldn't figure out himself. And the beautiful thing about being a teenager is you're not going to. You're not going to figure out who you are.
And if you think you have, just wait.
Just wait till you get older. You'll start realizing more about yourself than you ever. Hell, I'm 44 years old now. I'm still figuring out things about myself.
There's really no rush. There really isn't.
No.
So take your time. Figure it out. You'll be all right.
No. Well, I guess that about wraps it up. We'll be back next month. I think with with Paul's Criterion Watch and my What the F Friday. So we got plenty happening these few months and everything. But
Sounds
we're very
good.
happy. We're very happy you guys have been able to join us on this fun journey. Check us out in April. Until then, everybody. Bye.
Bye. And go check out Submarine. You'll like it.
Buy this movie.
I bet you thought it was about submarines, didn't you?
Maybe.